Today we're doing a review of the Quechua NH Escape 500 Rolltop 23-liter backpack. That's a mouthful. And in this video, I'm gonna break this bag down. I'm gonna take my experience of reviewing 500 plus of the world's best bag, and I'm gonna leave no stone unturned. We're gonna pack the bag out. I'm gonna give you my honest assessment of the pros and cons, and if you're not 100% sold that this is the bag for you, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video, where I'll sort of compare this to some of the other top bags in the market so that you can find the best bag for your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the Quechua NH Escape 500 Rolltop 23-liter backpack. And I'm gonna do a quick side story here. You can skip ahead if you just wanna go into like the specs, but this is actually a really interesting brand because if you're like me, where I live in Hong Kong, you're seeing the Quechua, I have no idea how to pronounce it. But if you're like me, you're seeing this brand everywhere. This is the most popular backpack brand in Hong Kong right now, I'd say. And there's a good reason for that. This brand, Quechua, is owned and sold by Decathlon. And what they've done over the years is genius little plan. As to where they've had their retail stores all over the world selling other brands' bags. And then they said, wait, we're gonna make our own bags and undersell all of them. And that's what they do. So now people go into Decathlon like, oh, that Osprey bag is nice. Oh, that North Face bag is nice. They're expensive though. Holy crap, that Quechua is $30 US? I'll take that one, please and thank you. And Decathlon has just knocked it out of the park with that strategy. But also this bag has kind of blown my brain in terms of what it's giving you for that value. But it's not perfect. I got some things I don't like about it as well. Let's talk about some of the top features. It's a roll top backpack, which means you can have varying levels of capacity. We'll go over that in just a second. You got a quick access pocket here. You got two stretchy side pockets, a hidden back zippered pocket, additional access points into the main compartment, a quick access pocket on the shoulder strap, and a harness system that I have a lot of opinions about. The 23-liter roll top comes in two color options. Now it's advertised as a 23-liter, but here at Nomad Nation, we always put that to the test. Gotta double check these things. As you can see right here, 5, 10, 15, just under 20 liters capacity for that main compartment. Granted though, keep in mind it is a roll top, which means that you can sort of loosen it and tighten it. So I think it's 23 liters, but it's a tight 23 liters for sure. The bag has a height of around 16 inches and a width of around 13 inches. The bag's clocking in at a super lightweight 1.8, 1.9 pounds. This is the bag when it's empty, and this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. For reference, I'm 5'8", and our media manager, Margaret, is 5'2". And don't worry, we're gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. All the products from this brand have a very, very confusingly worded warranty, so definitely be sure to look into that if warranties are important to you. But to be honest, at this price point, it's hard to really complain, because this 23-liter roll top is coming in at around $60 US. And if at any point during this review, you are just smitten with the value to price ratio of this bag, like I am, and you're thinking about making a purchase, we highly suggest doing so with the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes, especially for Decathlon products. But that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team, so we can keep making the best darn bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the front of the Quechua NH Escape 500 Rolltop 23L backpack. That is too many syllables for a product name. Come on, Decathlon, like cut it down. But while the bag has a lot of complications in its naming conventions, it's quite simple as a product. As to where it's a basic old school roll top, but it's actually bringing some modern features to the table. It's got that classic sort of like hiker aesthetic. Very low key, you're definitely not gonna be like a target of theft with a bag like this. And one thing that's contributing to that is the fabric that's being used. Actually multiple fabrics, as to where this bad boy is 100% polyester. And polyester is great for bags. While not as sexy or abrasion resistant as its nylon cousin, polyester is more weather resistant and it's a lot lighter. And just if you're looking for a simple no frills backpack, like polyester is always the best route to go. Quechua's branding, not too loud, but it is certainly a bit more front and center than you would get with otherwise more premium brands. And a lot of what I'm gonna talk about too is like, I'm gonna come from the perspective of somebody who's reviewed a lot of premium bag brands. So keep that in mind if I might, complain about a feature here or a design choice there. This is definitely coming in at a very low price point as like a strategic reason. But even having said that, God, this is a really good bag. Let's talk about quick access. You see right here on the side, we have this zipper puller. Let's see what these zippers are. I didn't even check this. Oh, they're SBS. I take it back. So a lot of times on bags that are cheaper, they're gonna cut corners where they can, because they have to make a profit, right? Otherwise they're gonna go out of business. This means you're gonna get like non-name brand zippers and buckles, but we got SBS zippers, Duralon buckles. I assume it's like an in-house brand. So again, a recurring theme you're gonna see about this bag is just like the value that you're getting for 60 bucks is gonna be really, really hard to beat. Inside this pocket, there is no additional organization. It's got about a height of 11.5 inches and a width of just under 8 inches. Good spot for maybe your bulky over-the-ear headphones, my Sony XM-H5s, perfect fit. Good spot maybe for a book and something you might want quicker access to, like your phone. Gotta love quick access on a bag, and look at what they did here with these pleats. This helps just to give this section a bit of extra volume. So if you want to stick bulkier things in there, like a book or over-the-ear headphones, this is just gonna help give you that little bit extra capacity. It's a little design choice, but it goes a lot way, because a lot of times in these front pockets, they're tight. But this just gives you a little bit extra breathing room. Very nicely designed. One last note is we have this external lash point right here. This is Hypalon for sure. Laser cut, really nicely sewn, and you can just use this to clip a carabiner onto, maybe attach a water bottle or hand sanitizer. Not really my thing, but if you dig external carry, Cachet has got you. I think that covers the front of the bag. We're gonna have a lot more to talk about in the next section, so let's just go ahead and transition into it. Let's talk about the middle of the Quechua 23-liter backpack. Now, before we get into the actual main compartment with the zipper and the roll top, let's talk about these sides. Actually, no, let's talk about the bottom first. This is actually, maybe this is polyester. This is a different fabric. It's got a lot more thickness to it, a lot more chunk to it. This is not gonna be a great self-standing bag with this bottom design, but this bottom is gonna have a lot more abrasion resistance, and because of that rubbery sort of finish, a lot more weather resistance as well. Like, especially if you put your bag down like in a puddle. Let's talk about these side pockets, because I am really excited about them. And yes, I'm a bag nerd, and I get excited about side pockets because they can do so many things, and these are so well designed and so interesting. Because look at the way that they've been done as to where they're sewn into the entire side panel right here, but you have this little opening at the top. This material too is gorgeous, really nice elasticity to it. And you know what, maybe I'm gonna hold on till the bag's fully packed out, because that's when you get like the best idea of what I'm talking about. Water bottles, umbrellas, you stay there. Let's get into the main compartment. Now, for a roll top, I personally have a bit of a love-hate relationship with them. I love them because they're classy and they look great. But access can be an issue, right? Because in essence, to get into the main compartment, you gotta unclip this hardware and then unroll it, and then you got the Velcro here. It's a whole song and a dance. But ketchup quinoa combination, whatever the hell they are. They gave us a zipper, and thank the zipper gods for that. And they gave us actually back access as well. So you can see we are not constricted by the roll top. We've got extra access points. And you can see in the main compartment there's a lot of organization. We got mesh pockets, smaller mesh pockets, zippered mesh pockets, side pockets. Holy crap, this thing has a lot of organization to it. And then we've got a lot of tech stuff. This is large enough for a 13-inch tablet. We've got a 15-inch laptop storage space as well. One thing to note though is just like look up here, you see all this awful finishing that's happening here? This is a $60 bag, guys, you know? So this is one thing to keep in mind, that Quechua is crushing it with value. But if you like your products to feel a bit more refined, this is just not the way to go, right? These trims, like, you're gonna see problems too when it comes to like the nylon webbing. They haven't really been stitched that well. Remember, 60 bucks, you get what you pay for. Now let's talk about tech protection. This says 15-inch, but I got a cutout of a 16-inch MacBook Pro. And you can see we're fitting in there with a bit of extra room to play with, actually. But you're probably not gonna get a 17-inch in there. That's definitely the biggest laptop I'd recommend. Also, Decathlon's given us a bit of a false bottom here. The bottom of the laptop compartment is elevated. So if you drop your bag, your laptop is less likely to get damaged. Bit of padding here as well. For the tablet sleeve, on this part right here, we got a little microfiber lining. Very soft, smooth to the touch, have some anti-scratch properties to it. Great for your tablet. And again, it can fit up to a 13-inch. So we're gonna pack it out with a bunch of stuff I got here for a day out and about in the city. I got a key leash in this pocket here. I don't love that because it's difficult to access. Also, it's kind of adorable. And Decathlon's like, yo, we've got a little key tag to indicate that your keys go in there. And then like the 15-inch and the 13-inch, it's just really nice. They're guiding me through the packing process. Much appreciated on that. Could be a good spot for a charger in here. One thing to note about these mesh choices, they're not high quality, right? Keep that in mind. It's a $60 bag. Although we do have more access points, it's still limited, right? It's still a roll top that's just, I'm like trying to lift this. Like think of like in contrast, like a good old fashioned clamshell. You know, you can just get in this thing, no problem, wherever you need. But a roll top's you're always gonna be fighting with it in some ways. It's like a kid, a stubborn kid. You love that kid. It's your blood. But like, he's just, it's kind of a sometimes. So the side pockets you can throw your sunglasses, Nintendo Switch case, hoodie, pen on the side right here. And yeah, that should be about it, guys. Feels like a 20 liter, but if you wanted to utilize that extra space on the top, that's where you have the additional literage to play with as well. Now we can talk about the side pockets. Bag is fully packed out, and we're gonna see what water bottles it can fit. I got a 24-ounce Columbia, and you can see the way it works. You just slide it into the top here, and then you've got it beautifully put on the side there. And then on the flip side, I'm gonna try my 1 liter Yeti. This one's a big boy, but I think we're gonna get it in there as well. Bit more of a struggle, but they're quite versatile in that sense. But they don't always look too awesome. Like, it's kind of like you got like bloating going on the sides of the bag, especially with the fabric like extending like that. So it's not gonna give you the coolest look. But the functionality of these pockets are insane. I am in love with them because whether you wanna put a water bottle in there or an umbrella, and I like using an umbrella here because this fabric will dry pretty quick. So if your umbrella is a little wet, you just wanna shove it in there, like it's just gonna work really, really well. Your phone for quick access, like these pockets are just endlessly versatile. And it's connected to this side pocket right here. Great spot potentially for your wallet. I don't think I am quite as in love with this side pocket. Reason being, it just interferes with the water bottle, like stretchy pocket, and it's a little bit more difficult to access, but I guess I'd rather have it than not. And then remember too, on the other side pocket, we also have access into the main compartment as well, specifically for your laptop. Ooh, let's measure the depth real fast, just so you can get an idea for traveling. We're coming in at just over 8 inches depth. And real fast, if you are enjoying this review, I gotta let you know that here at Nomads Nation, we don't just do epic breakdowns of travel and EDC gear on the YouTube channel, but we also have the Nomads Nation newsletter. In that newsletter, you can look at me like your reporter in the field, where I'm bringing you directly to your inbox everything you want to know about the world of EDC and travel gear. I'm talking about the newest drops, limited edition collabs, industry trends, and exclusive access to our discount codes and our giveaways. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in this incredible industry, be sure to look for this globe emoji in the description below. I put so much time and effort into this newsletter. I'm really proud of it, and I'd love to see you in your inbox. Okay, let's talk about the back of the Quechua NHEscape 500 Rolltop 23 liter backpack. Top handle is basic, but it gets the job done. I like the location because it's out of the way and it's easy to hang on those like gross bathroom stalls, right? Just don't have to worry about it like falling. It gives you a little bit to carry. It's not super well padded, but you got a lot of room to, finagle and move your hand in and out. Overall, fine handle at the price point. Now, before I give you my very bold opinions on the comfort of this bag, let's talk about the luggage pass-through holder. That's this guy right here. I actually think this would be a great bag to travel with. You get a little bit of expansion in the size. It's low key, right? So it's stealthy in that sense as to where if you're in a new destination, it's a bit more, let's just say rough around the edges. People aren't gonna be like, yo, that Quechua backpack, that's the one I wanna steal. And also, it's gonna pair with a suitcase very well. We have the luggage pass-through slider right here. Really well executed. You have nice little space. The bag's fully packed out. It's tight on the bag. It's tight on the handle without feeling like it's gonna pop out of the stitching. And it's keeping your bag upright, which in my opinion just makes for a better traveling experience. Overall, gosh darn. Decathlon's crushing it with this bag. Crushing it. And another thing they crushed it on is this shoulder strap pocket, which I will be the first to admit. I talk so much about shoulder strap pockets. I think they're stupid. Always have, thought I always will, but this one actually works really nicely. It's the same fabric that's being utilized for those water bottle pockets on the sides. And I'm like, there's no way my phone's gonna fit in there. but it did, kind of. Like, it's a tight fit. You gotta really push it in. But because of the fabric choice, like, it's just better than any other like phone strap pocket I've ever tried. It's still not great. Like, what you gotta keep in mind is like, this is soft fabric and your phone is rock hard, right? So like, you feel it now, like the comfort has been compromised. But if you wanna keep your phone super accessible, or wallet, train cards, whatever it might be, this is one of the better shoulder strap pockets I've ever seen. And again, Quechua is like communicating to us. It's like, not sure what to put here? Phone emoji. They're so kind. Thanks, guys. But really, above and beyond everything, if there's one reason to purchase this bag, it's for the incredible comfort at the price point. I am absolutely flabbergasted by the quality of the harness system this bag gives you at the price point. It's astonishing. I've reviewed so many bags, like so many. And for a bag to use this quality of padding with still giving the shoulder straps a bit of structure and a nice mesh that offers ventilation and these 3D cutouts, right, with the actual back padding, so you get a little bit of ventilation here. I mean, this is a back panel you'd see on a $200, $300 bag, no problem. Now, TomToc, lower price brand, came in the game and they started offering really high quality back panels like this, but at like 100 USD, like 80 to 100. This thing's coming in at 60. It's so comfy. The mesh might be a little coarse for some, especially if you're not wearing like a shirt, like for the ladies out there, if you're wearing a tank top, this can scratch your shoulders a little bit. But if you are wearing a shirt, it does give you a nice amount of grip as to where the bag is not sliding off. And as the cherry on top, a lot of cheap bags won't have a sternum strap. This one does. Sternum straps are great, allows you to redistribute the weight of the backpack. And it's got a great rail system right here, so you can adjust it. Oh God, that's cozy. And negative about these nylon web holders is they're just not very well executed. We've got below average stitching at the bottom, but they do come with web holders right here, which help keep the dangle in its place, keeping our best friend, No Dangle Dan, a happy camper. Thanks for keeping up the good work, little guy. Overall, for the comfort of this bag, I give it like a 4.5 out of 5 without even like the price taken into consideration. It's just really comfortable. Having said that though, it's comfortable for me because I like chunkier shoulder straps. If you like your shoulder straps a little bit on the thinner side, these might be a little too thick for your taste, a little too beefy. We're coming in at 1.5 centimeters of chunk. That's why everyone's different, and like you might want to get other people's opinions. So if that's the case, a good spot to ask your questions and get other perspectives is in the comments of this video or in the Nomads Nation subreddit, which we recently launched. We got one of the biggest communities of bag nerds, so be sure to ask your question there as well. All right, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Quechua NH Escape 500 Rolltop 23-liter backpack. Pro number 1 for me, these side pockets, love them. Pro number 2 is going to be just how comfortable of a wear it is. And pro number 3, I think the biggest selling point of this bag is just the value. 60 bucks for this well thought out, well designed bag is really a steal, in my opinion. But having said that, not all bags are perfect. This one included. It just kind of looks meh, like it's not a great looking bag. You definitely look like you're wearing a $50 or $60 bag. Con number 2 is gonna be the compromised access into the main compartment. And con number 3 is, while I did like the idea of this back pocket, I found it very difficult to use. But again, 60 bucks, it's hard to complain, guys. And if you're still watching this video, there's a good chance that you're thinking to yourself, yeah, 60 bucks, holy crap, where do I sign up? And just a reminder, if that's the case and you're gonna make a purchase, we do suggest doing so with the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold, let's talk about the alternatives that I teased earlier in the video. First up, if you're new to the Nomads Nation channel, I'm gonna recommend watching our Nomads Nation leaderboard video. This is where the whole Nomads Nation squad, we get together and we tell you our favorite bags in different bag categories. And there's 4 of us, we all have different tastes, so you can kind of get an idea of like different styles of bags and just what like an overall idea of what the best bags on the market are. And I've gone ahead and linked that video above. But if we're pretty close with the Quechua, here's 2 specific alternatives that are just a little bit different. Alternative number 1 is going to be the TomToc Navigator Liteway 28-liter. Great pick for you if you're on a budget, you're looking for a bag that's bringing the A game with quality while bringing like also like a low price point. But you just want, you're not a roll top. You want better clamshell style access while still keeping all the comfort and lightness that Quechua is bringing to the table with a 23-liter. And alternative number 2 is going to be the Mopac City Cycle Backpack. Great pick for you if you're still on a bit of a budget, but you really want a bag that like looks better than like the amount you paid for it. Mopac does a really good job of like keeping prices low, but also making like really well-designed bags. Like they're beautiful. And I was a big fan of the City Cycle Backpack. Honestly, all 3 bags have their own unique set of pros and cons, but to learn more about the alternatives, just go ahead and watch these videos here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below or in the Nomads Nation subreddit. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.